Today we're going to talk about traveling and you will learn some trip vocabulary. I'm planning a trip and the place where I'm going is called my destination. I want to visit Paris, so that's my destination for this journey. Paris is my destination. The first thing I have to do is book a flight. This means I arrange my plane tickets in advance to make sure I have a seat on the plane. So I need to buy a ticket. A ticket is a piece of paper or electronic document that gives me a right to travel on a specific type of transport or enter a place. Before I go, I need to create an itinerary. Itinerary. This is like a plan that shows where I'll go and what I'll do each day. My itinerary includes visits to famous places like the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre Museum. Next, I need to think about accommodation. Accommodation. This is where I'll stay while I'm in Paris. I could book a hotel, a hostel, or maybe an Airbnb. I decided to stay in a cozy hotel near the city center. This is my accommodation for the trip. One of the most important things to remember when traveling is your passport. This is a special document that proves who you are and allows you to travel to other countries. I checked to make sure my passport is up to date. Up to date means that something is current or has the most recent information or updates. If your passport is up to date, it means it is still valid and hasn't expired. For some countries, you also need a visa. A visa is a stamp or a ticket in your passport that lets you enter the country. Since I'm traveling to France, I don't need a visa because it's a part of the European Union. When I arrive at the airport, I'll have to go through customs. This is the place at an airport where officials check my luggage and make sure I'm not bringing anything illegal to the country. I'll also be ready to pack my suitcase with all the clothes and items I need for the trip. To get to Paris, I'll need a boarding pass. This is a ticket that lets me board the plane. After I check in at the airport, I'll receive my boarding pass, which will show my seat number and the gate where I need to go. My flight has a layover in London. A layover is a short stop in another city before reaching my final destination. I'll spend 2 hours in London before taking the next flight to Paris. When I arrive in Paris, it will be my arrival time. This is when my plane lands at the airport and I'll finally be at my destination. For example, the arrival time is 10:30 p.m. When I arrive to Paris, I have to check in at the hotel. That means I confirm my reservation and get my room key. Some people may feel very tired after a long flight. They may feel very tired because of jet lag. Jet lag is when your body feels out of sync with the local time because you've traveled across different time zones. For example, my body was still on New York time, so I felt sleepy during the day and awake at night. Before I leave for my trip, I'll make sure to buy travel insurance. This is a type of protection that helps cover any unexpected problems like losing my luggage or getting sick while traveling. Finally, after my exciting trip, I'll be ready to come back home, bringing lots of memories and souvenirs with me. A souvenir is something you buy or keep to remember a special visit or event. There are some types of trips that people can take depending on what they want to do and where they want to go. One common type of trip is a business trip. This is a journey taken for work purposes. For example, if your job sends you to another city for meetings, you are on a business trip. You focus on work, but sometimes you can explore the place after work hours. Another type of trip is backpacking. This is when you travel or hike while carrying everything you need in a backpack. It's often a low-cost way to see different places, and it can last for weeks or even months. For example, some people spend months backpacking through countries like Thailand or Vietnam, exploring on a budget. To explore on a budget means to go to new places without spending a lot of money. You find cheap ways to travel and eat, so you can enjoy your trip without spending too much. A road trip is another great type of trip. This is a long-distance journey when you can travel by car. You can travel along highways, stop at interesting spots, and see a lot of different places along the way. For instance, you might plan a road trip along the California coast, driving from San Francisco to Los Angeles and enjoying the scenic views. For those who love the sea, a cruise is a perfect vacation. A cruise is a trip taken on a ship where you sail to different places. While you're on the ship, you can relax, eat great food, and enjoy the ocean views. For example, you could go on a Mediterranean cruise, visiting countries like Italy and Greece. If you enjoy exploring new places, you might like sightseeing. This is when you visit places of interest, like famous landmarks, museums, or natural wonders in a particular location. For example, if you go to Rome, you might spend your days sightseeing at places like the Colosseum and the Vatican. Finally, an excursion is a short trip, usually for leisure. It could be a day trip to a nearby location. For example, you might take an excursion to a nearby island, spend the day at the beach, and return home in the evening. It's a quick way to enjoy a trip. That's it for today's lesson. Please remember that it's not always enough just to watch and listen. You need to practice it right away, or maybe practice it again after a few days. You need to repeat all the words and sentences out loud. That's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is you could write about the most exciting trip you've ever had using the vocabulary we have learned today. And this is your home task for today. See you later!